Hello! Let's dive into the story of a child's disappearance that will leave you in shock. The peaceful town of Konnagar, nestled by the Ganges, was suddenly thrown into chaos. 8-year-old Shreyanshu Sharma had vanished. His joyful laughter, once echoing through the lanes, was replaced by an eerie silence. Panic spread like wildfire. A child was missing. Their worst fears were coming true. Shreyanshu was found, but his lifeless eyes revealed a horrifying truth. This wasn't just a disappearance, it was murder. Shreyanshu, a name that brought a smile to everyone's face. He was known for his infectious energy and the way he could light up any room he walked into. A mischievous glint in his eyes, always ready for the next adventure, the next game, the next laugh. A contagious laugh that could brighten the gloomiest day. His laughter was like a melody that resonated with everyone who heard it. He was the apple of his parents' eyes, the darling of the neighborhood. Everyone knew Shreyanshu, the boy with the boundless spirit. He loved his cricket, his cartoons, and his sweets from the local shop. Every day he would run to the shop, his pockets jingling with coins, eager to buy his favorite treats. Life was simple, innocent, full of promise. Until it wasn't. The days were filled with joy and laughter, but fate had other plans. On that fateful day, he had ventured out, as always, to play with his friends. The sun was shining, and the air was filled with the sounds of children playing. But as the sun began to set, Shreyanshu didn't return. His friends had gone home, but there was no sign of him. The familiar fear that gripped his mother's heart soon turned into a nightmare. She called out his name, her voice echoing through the empty streets. But there was no response. The search began. A desperate hunt for the boy who had brought so much joy to their lives. The community rallied together, but as the hours turned into days, hope began to fade. The once vibrant and lively Shreyanshu was now just a memory, a life cut short, leaving behind a void that could never be filled. News spread like wildfire. The community, aghast and heartbroken, gathered. Whispers turned into frantic searches. Every nook and corner, every abandoned building was combed. The police arrived, their faces grim, their eyes reflecting the gravity of the situation. The investigation began, a race against time. Every minute felt like an eternity. The community watched, waited, prayed. Hope flickered, fragile and fading. Who could commit such a heinous act? The question hung heavy in the air, unanswered, echoing the silent screams of a community in mourning. Fear gripped Konnagar. Parents clutched their children a little closer. The usual bustle of the marketplace was replaced by an eerie quiet. The shadow of suspicion loomed large. Was it someone they knew? Someone lurking in their midst? The thought sent chills down their spines. Trust, once the bedrock of their community, began to crumble. Sleep evaded them, replaced by nightmares and the haunting question, why? What secrets would the investigation uncover, and what hidden motives lay beneath the surface? Days turned into sleepless nights. The police, working tirelessly, started piecing together the puzzle. Witnesses were questioned, alibis checked, and every lead, no matter how small, was meticulously pursued. The pressure mounted, the scrutiny intensified. The investigation zeroed in on a few individuals. Their past, their present, their every move examined under a microscope. The net was closing in. The truth, however horrifying, was about to surface.
I remember a time when I was involved in a community watch program. We had a similar situation where the tension was palpable, and every small detail mattered. It was a reminder of how relentless and thorough investigations can be, and how the truth, no matter how hidden, eventually comes to light.
The arrest sent shockwaves through Konnagar. The motive, when it emerged, was as chilling as it was unexpected. It wasn't revenge, nor a random act of violence. It was something far more sinister, far more calculated. A property dispute, a long-standing feud between families, and caught in the crossfire, an innocent life extinguished. The revelation left the community reeling, the enormity of the crime hitting them with full force. How could something so trivial, so petty, lead to such a horrific act? What does this say about the value we place on human life? Section 7. Justice for Shreyanshu. The trial began, a media frenzy surrounding the case. The prosecution presented its case, the evidence damning. The defense, grasping at straws, tried to sow seeds of doubt, but the truth was undeniable. The community watched, their hearts heavy with grief and anger as the wheels of justice slowly turned. The verdict, when it came, was greeted with a mix of relief and sorrow. Justice had been served, but it wouldn't bring back their Shreyanshu. The void he left behind would forever remain. In this chapter, we delve into the intricate details of the trial, providing insights into the prosecution's strategy and the defense's desperate attempts. You'll gain a deeper understanding of the legal maneuvers and the emotional impact on the community. Hear first-hand accounts from those who lived through the trial and see how justice was ultimately served. The town of Konnagar was forever changed. Section 8, Scars on the Soul, the Aftermath. The events that transpired left an indelible mark on the town of Konnagar. Life in Konnagar would never be the same. The once vibrant community now found itself shrouded in a veil of sorrow and uncertainty. The laughter of children, once a symphony of joy, now carried a tinge of sadness. Their innocent games were overshadowed by the weight of the tragedy that had befallen their town. The streets, once filled with carefree abandon, now bore witness to a newfound vigilance. Neighbours who once exchanged warm greetings now cast wary glances, their trust shattered. The scars of the tragedy ran deep, a constant reminder of the fragility of life and the darkness that could lurk beneath the surface. Every corner of the town seemed to whisper tales of what had been lost. The community, forever bound by the shared tragedy, grappled with their grief, their anger, their guilt. They gathered in town halls, in churches, and in each other's homes, seeking solace and understanding. They had lost one of their own, and the pain was palpable. The air was thick with unspoken words and shared sorrow, as each person tried to come to terms with the new reality. Memorials were held, candles were lit, and tears were shed. The town came together to honour the memory of those they had lost, finding strength in their unity. Slowly, the process of healing began. The community started to rebuild, not just their homes and streets, but their spirits as well. They leaned on each other, finding hope in small acts of kindness. And while the laughter of children would never be quite the same, it began to return, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Konnagar would never forget, but it would also never give up. Section 9. Konnagar remembers, a community forever changed. Years passed. The memory of Shreyanshu lived on, in the whispers of the wind, in the laughter of children playing in the park that now bore his name. His tragic death sparked a series of community gatherings where people came together to discuss and reflect. It led to the rise of community leaders who emphasized the importance of conflict resolution and mediation. The incident highlighted the underlying societal tensions and the fragility of peace, and served as a stark reminder of the devastating consequences of unchecked rage. Section 10. A plea for a safer tomorrow. In a world where the news is often filled with stories of violence and despair, it is easy to become desensitized. But every so often a story emerges that shakes us to our core, reminding us of the fragility of life and the importance of community. The story of Shreyanshu Sharma is not just a local tragedy. It is a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of our youth and the urgent need for societal change. Shreyanshu's life was cut short, but his memory serves as a beacon, urging us to reflect and act. This tragedy is a reflection of a larger societal issue. The violence that claimed Shreyanshu's life is not an isolated incident, but a symptom of deeper, systemic problems. It calls for a collective introspection and a commitment to addressing the root causes of such tragedies. It serves as a stark reminder that the seeds of hatred and violence, if left unchecked, can blossom into unimaginable horrors. These seeds are often sown in environments of neglect, intolerance, and misunderstanding. It is our responsibility to uproot them before they take hold. This is a plea for understanding, for tolerance, for a world where disputes are settled, not with fists or knives, but with dialogue and empathy. We must foster environments where differences are celebrated and conflicts are resolved through peaceful means. Imagine a world where children can laugh freely without fear, their innocence protected, their futures bright. A place where every child feels safe to explore, to dream, and to grow without the shadow of violence looming over them. A world that remembers Shreyanshu and strives to be better. His story should not be just a tale of sorrow, but a catalyst for change. Communities must come together, united in their resolve to create safer environments for all. For him, for all children, for a safer tomorrow. Let us advocate for policies that protect our youth, invest in education that promotes peace, and build communities that stand as sanctuaries against violence. Together, we can ensure that Shreyanshu's legacy is one of hope and transformation. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Let's go!